Says I'm live. Should be getting it. Alrighty, guys, just waiting here. Seeing all the people going to come on. Seeing what we got to do before I discuss the topic of the day. Something that I've been working on. I think my man Chan is in here. So it's always good to see Chan and my man James, some others. I like it. Looking good. Looking good. All right, I'm going to start breaking it down. All right. Breaking it down. So I discussed and I put in my post the other day about, healing. How do we know when we're hurt? How do we know how to heal? But I think that's one of the things that is so key is how do you know that stuff? How do you know how to get your body to heal faster? And I think that's one of the things that we're not realizing as human beings is what we need to do. So just give me a second. I know the one guy's trying to get in here, so let me see if I can help him out here. See if I can figure this out for him. You're in, James? You can see it?
Yep. It took me a little bit.
Did you have to push anything different? Are you subscribed to my page?
Yeah. That might be part of it.
All right, so I'll get back here now. Hopefully this helps him out. See if that works. All right, so when you get into the whole thing about healing and the understanding of healing, and if you can get to a point, you could heal every single thing out there. And I know people think I'm nuts. People think I'm crazy. I've been called that many times over my life. But think about this, and I talked about this with the gentleman this morning. When I cut myself, okay, and it starts to bleed, what heals it? Now, people are going to say, oh, it's a Band-Aid. Band-Aids have nothing to do with it. That might try to keep the infection out. But in all honesty, that has nothing to do with it. Okay? Nothing. Break a bone. Same thing. How's it heal? It heals by my process, by my body healing itself. That's how I heal. Okay. Yes, there's a cast over, so I don't go out there and run. It's more or less a warning sign. Then I don't go out there and run, do something. That's how it all works. Okay. The body heals itself, but it has to heal in 3 phases. And I talk about this. This is for complete healing. And for fast and quick healing, you have to have the 3 phases. You have to have the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. If you don't have those 3 in place, you will struggle. Now, some people will get their physical back and they'll be good for a while and then eventually they'll fall apart, or you'll have your mental, whatever. But you have to have all 3 in place. All 3 have to be willing to work together, and you have to take care of yourself. That's why it blows my mind when I have 60-year-old people, complain about back pain, hip pain, all this kind of stuff, and yet they don't do anything. Their lifestyles are sedentary. They don't do much, and then they wonder why they're not recovering. That's one of the things. That's one of the bad things there is that people just don't understand how the healing process works. And if they did, they could probably get more out of it. Okay. They could probably get much more out of it. I'm trying to turn here, try to get a little better reception. Big glare coming from the windows there. But that is one of the key things is getting these 3 things in place. And I talked about it with another gentleman one time, and I truly believe this is true, is your positive outlook and how you see things helps you heal much quicker. So if I see myself healing, okay, I can envision it in my head. And I also tell myself that I can, heal much faster. I'm going to heal faster. I don't care what anybody says. So I did a couple things, and I always do stuff on myself. So I don't just give it to people without me doing it first. Okay. When I come up with challenges and things like that, I do it first to see what needs to be tweaked, to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to accomplish it. They might not accomplish it, but I do that. So the same thing when it comes. So I started to feel this about 2, 3 years ago. I started to feel something come on, cold, whatever. And I could have ran to the store like everybody does and buys Dayquil, NyQuil, whatever you want to do, over the counter crap. Or I could have ran to the doctor like the other 50% of people do and asked them to take care of me, but I didn't. So what I did was I sat there and I visually imagined myself getting better. Okay. I visualized it. I told myself I'm not sick. I told myself that. I was definitely coming down with something. I could feel it. The throat started hurting, the nose started running, but I visually imagined that I did not. And guess what? That night I went to bed. The next morning I woke up and I was completely fine. The only thing I took, okay, was a home remedy of honey and garlic. That's it. That was the only thing I took that was different. But I imagined in my head, visioned in my head, me getting better or feeling better. And that power can lead to so many great things. I don't think we understand how powerful our brains are because we're so weak-minded. We've been so told the superficial life that we live in, okay, of you need to pop a pill, you need to get surgery, you need to do this to get better. And that's not true. And there's many people who are like that and they come and see me and I'm like, well, I don't think you need surgery, but I mean, if you want to go get it, or we can try this. And they try that and they get better within 2, 3, 4 weeks. And all of a sudden they're like, I can't believe it. Doctor told me I needed surgery. Yeah, he told you need surgery. That's how he makes his money. So the power of you believing in yourself, number one, and understanding your body, number two, can go so far, can take you so many places that people don't even understand and don't want to understand when it comes to the healing process. See, healing isn't just for a select few, people who have money or people who don't have money or people who can get this drug or that drug. That's not it. Healing's for every single one of us. It was built into us by God. God gave us that ability to heal, to overcome, okay, to become one, all right, and as healthy as possible. Now, we got to do certain things to take care of us. We can't eat the toxic crap that they put into our food. Okay, we got to be smarter about what we're eating. We also have to understand our environment that we're coming from, okay, of what's out there. But we also have to get to a state of prayer, meditation, whatever you want to call it, to be one with God and then also understand our bodies. I call our bodies a temple. It's a temple for a reason. You must take care of it in all phases, okay? Many people forget one phase and it never completely heals. But when you take care of the mind, all right, you give it the breaks that it needs. When you take care of the body, I work out, I do the things I need to. I go out and hike, I do those things. Get out away from all, the hustle bustle of life and just get away. That's huge for the body as well as the mind. And then the spiritual aspect is the key component of it. Believing that there's a higher power, somebody who's looking down on us, taking care of us, but we have to believe in that. Those three things combined create it. Now, people tell me, oh yeah, Dave, I agree with you. I agree with you. But then why are you the same people that run to the doctor or go pick up a prescription? Well, you don't understand. It's this, I have this. No, you don't. You have that because that's what you believe. That's what you've been told. You've been told you have that and you have no idea how to cure it yourself or how to heal yourself. That's the issue because you have not been told how to do it. You don't truly believe it. You're just agreeing with me because it sounds great to agree with. But you truly don't believe it. Because if you believed it, you wouldn't do the things you do. Or you would take better care of yourself. Like I have a guy who came to me, years back and stuff like that, said, yeah, I want you to help me out with my back. Okay. Well, never followed back up and stuff. And I still hear about him, having some, back issues. Well, but he agrees with me on a lot of this stuff, but yet he's not following through on what I'm saying. You have to follow through. And I was at that point. That's why I changed and how in the healing process. I used to think, oh, the only way you can heal is by, going to get this drug or doing, the rice treatment or whatever. No. I started to understand how the human body functions, how it works. And all of a sudden it started to come to me, how to get people to heal better. Now, is it an instant gratification thing? No, I wish I could say, hey, you go home, hey, after tearing your ACL and the next day is completely healed. I don't think that's going to happen. But do I believe now from some of the research that I've done that you don't need ACL surgery and your ACL can heal itself? Now, people are going to say they're nuts. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I do believe it. And why? Because I've talked to 2 people who have never gotten surgery, had MRI confirmed ACL tears. Okay. 9 months later, went back and got their MRI or an MRI of their ACL again, and it was completely healed. Never had surgery. So how does that happen? That's what I'm talking about. That's the power within inside of us. That is the power that we possess, but we're not unleashing it because we have limitations in our brain telling us, well, my doctor, what does your doctor know about you? Just truly, what does he know about you? Nothing. He doesn't know who you are. He's not inside you. That's what I'm talking about with the healing process. You have to understand yourself better than anybody else. God and you understand yourself better than anybody else. But we allow it to a third person, and then they dictate to us how we should live, how we should do things. And all of a sudden we're like, I don't know why I'm not any better. I don't know why I'm still paying for all these drugs or all this surgery and I'm not any better, because you allowed yourself to get taken advantage of. Now, do I believe that there's certain surgeries out there that probably people need? Yes. If I was in a car accident, I would definitely want to go to the doctor, okay, to heal me, okay, to help me get through that. An acute injury, 100%. But when it comes to chronic stuff, it's inside of you. It's inside. We all talk about cancer being this detrimental thing, and it is. It can be. But how do we know that cancer cell is not actually the part that's actually trying to heal you and keep you sane? When I go in and start poking and prodding at it, and I knock those cells off and they start spreading all over the place, and I wonder why. But if I just kept it in where it's sheltered, okay, around that cell, okay, the cancer cells are around the main cell, guess what? It's probably trying to heal itself because there's a cell on top of it. And you have to, like I said, you have to dive deeper into it. Okay, I can recommend books to you and stuff like that that actually dive deeper into it. But you have to understand how system works. And if you take it from a biblical ancestral approach, you can get yourself to heal. Is it easy? No. And I'm going to continue to say it's not an overnight thing. And that's what we want. We want the pill to get us overnight success. That's why we take antibiotics for the most part. Oh, you have a cold. Back in the day, they used to prescribe antibiotics. And now you see people with resistance to these things because they're over drugged out. You know what I mean? So you have strep throat, right? What's the number one thing you do? You got to take an antibiotic. Do you need to take an antibiotic? Or will the body actually heal itself? If you gave it a week or two, I guarantee the body would heal itself. Now, people don't want that because it hurts. It bothers them. They don't want that discomfort in their life. So what do? They run to the doctor, get the antibiotic, put a toxic pill into their system, toxic chemicals to get over it. Okay. But then you have to accept that every time you put that in your system, you have side effects. They might not show up right away, but they will show up eventually. Well, I was reading that every prescription drug that you take, there's 70 side effects to each prescription drug. Imagine that. So I take this to help combat one thing that I'm doing, and I'm now unleashing 70 other things that could harm me and do worse. We have to start taking better care of our bodies in the spiritual, mental, and physical realm, but we have to do it with our understanding of ourselves. I know when myself starts to get out of whack. I can tell. Okay. If I'm not eating certain things, the right things, I start to feel off. And then I know I need to bring myself back in. I know it. Okay. And some people say, oh, well, I can feel that too. Might be too late. But how do you know all your stuff when you really feel off? Okay. And here's the kicker, because I was having a discussion this morning with two of my guys. I think they're on too. They're talking about their watches, telling them when they can work out. I say that all the time because it tells them that they're recovered. What the heck does that mean? You need a freaking watch to tell you when to work out or how well you're recovered, and you can't tell from your own system, your own body. You can't feel. That's what I'm talking about. You can't feel with inside yourself how well you're recovered. There's something wrong. That's how far we've gone away. And I'm going to talk more on that in another live that I have scheduled for talking about the strength and conditioning industry and the sports performance. And are we really getting better? And we really making people better? That's a whole other topic. But I just wanted to bring that up because that gets into understanding who we are. I know who I am. I know when I get enough rest. I know when I don't get enough rest. I know when I need a nap. I know when I need these things. Why? Because I understand my body. I've learned to understand it. And that's what we're all capable of doing. It's not just Dave. It's not just me understanding it. You should be able to understand it. Can I help guide you in a way? No question about it. I should be able to help guide you. But then it's your take. It's your run then from there. It's your run. We all understood that. I'm telling you, we could accomplish so much and we could live so much better, so much longer. Because people tell me, well, we're living longer than we did 30 years ago. Maybe so age-wise, but we're so chronically messed up, right? We live 20 to 30 years of our life, so many of us with back pain, with this disease or that disease or this knee pain or whatever. You know what I mean? Why do we want to live in that kind of pain for 20 to 30 years when we can actually figure stuff out and actually get better? I want to live to 120, but I don't want to have diseases and pains all my life. I want to live to 120. That's what I strive to do as long as I possibly can. The God who wants me here on this earth, but I know I can get to 120. But I got to do the things. I got to do things to make sure I get there. Eating right, understanding, taking the breaks I need, understanding my body, believing God's going to help me get to that point. Those things. Those are the things I need. Those 3 phases I talk about: the spiritual, mental, physical. We do those things, we can heal. All right, guys. If you're on here, okay, if you're watching the tapes, all right, go subscribe to the channel so you guys can get updates of when I go live. Because I know one of my next ones coming up is going to be in the strength and conditioning industry and sports performance. All right, I've been in this for 22 years, and there's something broken in this whole system. And it's starting to irritate me even more because I still see the same stupid people putting the same stupid stuff out. And it needs to stop. It just needs to stop. Okay? So I'm going to discuss that one. But make sure you go subscribe. Send this out to your friends. Get them involved. Let them know. Comment. Send me messages. I love it. I love discussions. I'm not against them. I'm not 100% right all the time. I'm not saying I am. But when I look at things much differently than I ever did before. And trust me, I was in that system, in that physical therapy realm. I was in there. I understand that. I know how those certain things work. Has it changed? Yes. But I also understand how the human body is now, by the grace of God 5 years ago, enlightening me with this stuff. So I'm telling you, we can change, and we will change if we're willing to open up our minds and have open discussions. I appreciate you guys listening in. Have yourself a blessed day. God bless you. Take care. Always remain unsolved.